Hey y'all, Scott here. I just got bread for $1. Something really like it. Turned out they weren't a person. They were just an affordable price. I despise deals. Somebody offered me a TV for $20. So it's a good thing deals can't find me here. That's why I boarded the doors. It's their Achilles heel. Wood are on my neck. With all these deals out there, I guess I just have to wait out the storm with games like Sportsman's Pack. 2 great games. There's been a breach! Video games are a business. The sooner I realize that, the smaller it's dropped over time. But let me you have multiple games that may have outlasted their shelf life. Maybe you put them together in one package for an affordable price, and you never know, it may just appeal to a brand new audience. I don't speak for everyone here, but getting multiple items bundled into one product makes things a whole lot easier. You killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I could get toilet paper by itself. I could save a trip and buy it with ranch. And hey, video games take up a lot of space. Here's my Glover room. You get multiple video games in one affordable package. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking game compilations, stuff like Namco Museum, Sonic Mega Collection, or taking old games you can already play on that console and doing the value-packed games take games you can already play on the system, bundling them together to make things more wacky and pathetic. These products are 2 in 1. They aren't for fans, they aren't for diehards, they're merely in existence to make for better presents to give the kids half the time. It makes things more enticing to buy this thing. It's just odd because I don't ever think to see. Nobody does. I didn't think too many of these multi-packs existed until I realized one of the most famous products of all time. 2-in-1 Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt. You know, much like opium, you couldn't buy this at the store. This was bundled in with most Nintendo Entertainment System consoles. It's easily one of the most common video games in existence. I don't need to tell you that. You're probably already sitting on 5 of them. Obviously, this saves space in the console box, but making the value of the games included. One of my favorite things about these multi-packs is seeing what kind of menu system they put in place to select the games. Mario and Duck Hunt is together. When you're bored with one, the other should do the trick, and it's a good mix of traditional platforming gameplay and bloodshed. Most of the time, you'll see manufacturers put similar games together in one cartridge, but honestly, I really like what Nintendo did here. 2 completely different games, but 2 games where most people interested in one would like the other. So f*** it out of 3-in-1 Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt / powers do. So adding a game where you have to run to a game where you be run and a game where you get put on a list, and a nice sample of what NES had to offer. Again, this was only available in NES console bundles, and specifically console bundles that included Zapper and Power Pad accessories. And while this cartridge does bring a lot of variety, after Duck Hunt in record time. Does anyone have a Power Pad in this one? I'll be right back. So then maybe this cartridge is a bit more worthwhile. 3-in-1 Super Mario Brothers / Tetris / Nintendo World Cup. There were 3 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. This multi-pack was only released in Europe and is hard to come by. Unlike the others, this got a full retail release. The games included are all your traditional NES games that use just the controller, so it's a comfortable experience. I think Mario and Tetris go together quite well, and Nintendo World Cup does satiate the jock of the family. No, I went to play soccer, thank you. I'm no pussy, I don't like shapes. The multi-game cartridges weren't just a Nintendo thing, though. Sega did them on the Master System, and even before that, they existed on the Atari 2600. Here's the Double Ender cartridge, where each end gives you a different game. I'm appalled and enthralled. But these value pack games truly became a hot commodity with Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, especially if they were console bundles. Anybody would care otherwise. Sonic Classics. Remember the classic Sonic games? It's 1997, and they sure don't make them like they used to in 1994. It's like 6 years old. Sonic 1, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Beam Machine, all in one cartridge. This should be a staple in every multi-pack. But this cartridge pales in comparison to one Sega released earlier. 6-pack. This one is a doozy. Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Columns, Revenge of Shinobi, Super Sonic, Streets of Rage.
Simply clever.
This is a solid collection. I like the multi-pack. Wanting to include it on the same cartridge, like, yeah, I'll accept it. But I'm probably just gonna play Sonic 2. I mean, we have Mean Beam Machine next to it.
Citroën, créative technologie.
Don't have any value packs that could compete with something like this? Here's Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario World. Nintendo was trying to claim more dependence than they had that year. So basically, for some Super Nintendo console bundles, they included this exclusive version of Mario All-Stars with Mario World added in, and it's pretty seamless. You'd think they just had a game select screen that says, listen, but no, Mario World is super Mario Mario games. They even updated Mario World itself a bit, changing how Luigi looks to make it look more Luigi. It's a strange amount of effort put into a simple multi-cart that was only available in specific SNES console bundles that were also only available for a limited amount of time. It's a shame this wasn't given more wide release. Nintendo decides to re-release Mario All-Stars. It's always the original version, not the one with Mario World included. Maybe because it doesn't have Mean Bean machines. Well, I'm fucking disgusted, which is why I think if the game consoles involved, it becomes so, with the invention of discs, it's more feasible to put multiple games into one package in gaming. You ever notice ever since it's released, now this is the definition of a multi-pack. Discs in one. Discs you printed for the standard copies and combine them with some others, print some new box art, and bam, you just gave up. The case itself often isn't even much bigger. You can fit quite a few discs in a standard-sized case. There was no downside to this. With Tetris with Star Wars, I don't give a I saw Sega do this a lot. Hits title, and I gotta admit, these 7 adjectives sold me. Obviously, this was a good deal. There's no lying to yourself about that. Original artwork, you get it all cropped and small, and the spine looks dumb. This box looks like it's constantly trying to sell me on something I already own. It's like how movies are sold these days. Some flicks are forever destined to be exclusively sold in movie packs. With the logo on the front and on the spine, it's like, where do I put this in my collection? It's on it. Alphabetically, like, here goes. Like, why does this movie come over this one? See, the Mega Collection of Monkey Ball. What if this was Sonic and Monkey Ball? These are both two similarly styled series. It's the requirements of a deal. Actually, this one was released only in certain console bundles, and everything comes packed on one disc. That's pretty impressive. Xbox has some interesting usually like to do this combo style in the spine. Inside of the box had box art for one game. What about the other? Oh, thank Christ. I wouldn't do shit for anything less than Tetris Worlds. They continue this general style throughout the Xbox 360's lifespan, and even into the Xbox One's a bit. Except this one, you just get a very basic front and back. The scene. Over on the game. What a deal! Full copies of the games. Again, a few pieces of Anniversary collection, because let's celebrate.
This is the Home Box Office Television Network.
$20 at Walmart's. A full-size game box. Sony did this at everywhere. This was the era of licensed kids games. Pretty much with every movie, every cartoon, those types of games for the Game Boy Advance just made sense. It was wildly popular. People were buying damn near anything on it. The market was flooded. And when a game's popularity started to dwindle, publishers took it as an opportunity to repackage it alongside another edition. Advance cartridge for the ultimate Easter gift. This just screams Easter to me. These things were everywhere on the Game Boy Advance. I mean, it makes sense. The file sizes of these games were ass small. This way, you could bring 2 games on the road instead of just 1. But I never realized just how many were released. For the kids, obviously, there's a lot of licensed games combined onto one cartridge. The Shark Tale and Shrek 2 combo cartridge. SpongeBob SquarePants Super Sponge and SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. Super Sponge on the PlayStation 1. Included on the cartridge, and I'm pretty miffed I never owned this until now. Just think about how different my life would be if I had this. These are both SpongeBob games, but 2D platformers. At least with the Shrek and Shark Tale combo, we had some variety in brand. Well, don't you worry, because THQ did release a multi-cart with Super Sponge on it, and 3 other games. The fabled 4-in-1. I've seen staplers with better labels. It's pretty cool considering this one has all different Nickelodeon shows represented within each game, just like Sportsman's Pack. Fishing or hunting? I don't care, just give me a fucking gun. Cartoon Network had this double pack here. Listen, I'm just saying, you could always tell a Cartoon Network kid from a Nickelodeon one. We were a respectable breed. But hey, licensed games weren't the only culprits. Sonic Advance and Pinball Party, Pac-Man World and Maze Madness, double, triple, or even quadruple packs on Game Boy Advance were a way of life, even when it came to movies. Game Boy Advance's video double pack featuring Shark Tale and Shrek. Not Shark Tale and Shrek 2, Shark Tale and those movies for some reason. I think Majestic has the games. This is a fairly impressive accomplishment for the time. Most games on these combo cartridges weren't compromised, but with these movies, they definitely look worse than they did on their own single carts. It's a sacrifice. What are you sacrificing the Game Boy Advance anyway?
This is an ABC color presentation.
Game Boy Advance, idle time in my generation specifically. There was a ton, but they never went away. I just don't think this existence. A few Wii systems came bundled in with both Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, but I never knew they came on the same disc and had a unique startup and menu select screen. I wonder if this disc is Bioshock and Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion double pack, because digital-only Wii U titles physically, but packing them on the same disc. NES Remix 1 and 2 are pretty much the exact same game, but with different NES titles represented. It would have been cool to have all the games a part of the same menu interface, like what they did with Super Mario World and Super Mario All-Stars. Pokemon's been doing these box set releases if you want both Pokemon games to come out at the same time. And Nintendo's done this thing where Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Super Mario Party are bundled together. There's basically a million ways to purchase all the Kingdom Hearts games on PlayStation 4. This one has the HD remasters of 1, 2, and Dream Drop Distance. This one has all of that. First game and nothing more. It's like a jump through. Throughout all this, though, it's clear to me Sega is the most consistent at releasing multi-packs. They've done it ever since the Sega Master System, and they did it with the Nintendo Switch. The Sonic Mania plus Team Sonic Racing double pack, and the Banana Blitz HD plus Sonic Forces double pack. Which one is it? The Nintendo Switch is a few multi-pack game card releases where when you pop the game card in, both games just appear on the menu, which is pretty slick. So even when these Sega releases are just on one card, they don't have a unique menu. The system just acts like you put the games at once. But nothing Sega does will ever live up to their Sonic PC collection release. 30 games in this set. At that point, did they really have Sega? Oh, man, we can't just not include one more game. The people won't fall for that. They aren't stupid. They like Sonic. There's a lot more of these things than initially thought. Have to embrace the fact that some people still like to have physical games, but they like the slimmer packaging with 2 discs in 1. It's cool to see the unique menus, and while I'm sorry it is compromising, kind of cheesy, these things.